why didn't you just leave? Why did you stay there? You know, you're crazy for staying. I used to be one of those people who said that.
I've been told so many times, why didn't I just leave? But I didn't want that failed marriage. I married a guy. I thought it was going to get better. I thought that I could fix him. I was the mother. I was gonna make my family whole. I was gonna make everybody on the outside. I wanted the marriage that everybody thought I had from the outside. And I wanted it on the inside. And I couldn't get it.
The looks and the threats started becoming more often and more heavier, meaner, until a few times where I was actually pushed into a wall. My arms grabbed so that I got the impression things could turn. I mean business here.
There were a few incidents of physical abuse, but overall it didn't take many of those incidents. It was just kind of like once in a while, you know, he would remind me of, you know, why I would need to do things his way. So I learned just to not really challenge or question things that he said or did.
My husband at one time choked me. I was holding Mackenzie in my arms. He choked me till I passed out. When I woke up, he was over me with a knife above his head where he was going to come down on me and slice me. And that's when Mackenzie walked in the room.
He was on top of her with a knife. If my mom wasn't there and he'd get mad, he'd hit me or my sisters or my brother or our animals.
He would like try and hurt my mom. He would go up to her and one time I walked in on him trying to drown her in the bathtub.
This bucket of water that was in the bathtub, it wasn't in the bathtub, but he tried to drown me in a bucket of water one time, and Nikki walked in. He's kicked me with steel-toed boots so many times where I have shin damage. My legs kind of give out on me at certain times.
Steve was, I'm not even sure how old, maybe 8. And he wound up playing with some matches or a lighter out in front of the home, and my husband found out.
I remember him bringing me into the kitchen and telling me he was going to place my hand on the oven burner. And I remember him turning the dial and starting the oven on. I think it may have been an electric oven at the time, so it didn't get hot instantly.
And as he was starting to do this, I had just happened to come home and stopped before it got any worse. Now, I don't know that he really would have, but even the fear of knowing that your dad is going to take your hand over something that's going to hurt you was so horrific. And even then, I still did not have the strength to know that I could beat this and leave. And it still was years after that before we actually got out of there.
I had a corner bedroom, and just down the hall, my mother and my father slept in the master bedroom. But right across from me was my brother's bedroom, and I remember there was days that I would ask him to wait for me to fall asleep. If we had never left, I think if we stayed with my father, none of us would be alive today.
My life before New Life Center was living with my kid's father, and everything was just basically the way he wanted it. I didn't have the freedom to really say what was on my mind or do things that I thought were fun to do, or really just be who I thought I was.
I think with the changes from the New Life Center, what they've given me, the strength to grow has grown on my children, where I think they became more confident women. I'm hoping that they're strong. I think that when they set their mind to something, that's the way it's going to be, and they know that there's no need to be hurt to be loved.
When I came to New Life Center, I really just started opening up my mind again to dreaming again, and ever since then it's just gotten better and better.
Because I had a son that was 15 at the time, we were challenged with not being able to find a shelter that would accept my two boys, one being 15. And so we were put up in a hotel very far from our local town. And it was such a relief to know that we were going to stay somewhat in our comfort zone of an area. And that's when we got the call and we were accepted to come into New Life, open arms.
My first impression of New Life Center, and the very first day that I walked in there, was a very humbling experience. You know, maybe this is a step in the right direction and a step, you know, into a new life for my mom, my brother, and I.
My life now is very peaceful. I'm thankful for what I got to see and what I've learned from those experiences, because now I know what's wrong and what's right. But my life is great. There's no burden on my mother anymore. My brother has a family now. I'm proposing to my girlfriend in a few weeks. So, you know, we all kind of have our lives together and things are good.
I just feel so empowered to do whatever it is that I choose to do, and just to reach back and help others along the way. Through every stage of life, I just feel like no matter what it is, if I set my mind to it, I can do it. And what I would like to say to the people that have helped me out from New Life Center, I'd like to say thank you. And that just seems like such a small expression, but there's no words. They have no idea the impact that they've had on my life and on my children's lives. And I'm just ever grateful to them, and I owe them everything.